Okay, so there's a whole bunch of points in chapter 1, but let's continue to read in Micah chapter 2 in the King James Version. Woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Therefore thus saith the Lord, Behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, We be utterly spoiled. He hath changed the portion of my people. How hath he removed it from me? Turning away, he hath divided our fields. Therefore thou shalt have none that shall cast a cord by lot in the congregation of the Lord. Prophesy ye not, say they to them that prophesy. They shall not prophesy to them, that they shall not take shame. O thou that art named the house of Jacob, is the spirit of the Lord straitened? Are these his doings? Do not my words do good to him that walketh uprightly? Even of late my people is risen up as an enemy. Ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely as men averse from war. The women of my people have ye cast out from their pleasant houses, for their children have ye taken away my glory forever. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. If a man walking in the spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of this people. I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of thee. I will utterly gather the remnant of Israel. I will put them together as sheep of Bozrah, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men. The breaker is come up before them. They have broken up, and have passed through the gate, and are gone out by it. And their king shall pass before them, and the Lord on the head of them. Amen. Okay, so there's a lot here. So I'm going to there's 2 quick points right here. Okay, so this is talking about a lot. The first point in here, real quickly, we're going to do both of them together though, is that first it talks about in verse 7 and 8, O thou that art named the house of Jacob, is the spirit of the Lord straitened? Are these things, are these his doings? Do not my words do good to him that walketh uprightly? So things were starting to happen. There was clashes between brethren. There were clashes from nations surrounding them. They were starting to feel the effects of not being fully committed to the Lord. And yet, instead of turning to the Lord and seeking forgiveness and humbling themselves, as we, just read in the book of Jonah, where all of Nineveh put on sackcloth and sat in ash from the top down, from every single level, and all the people, even though they were a fully wicked nation, a group of people, when Jonah preached, they all heard and listened and accepted because they understood that they needed to turn. And here is Micah giving a similar message beforehand. I believe he was much before Jonah at this time. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But they were having also issues during this time as well. And so it goes on to say, even of late my people is risen up as an enemy. Ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely, as men averse from war. There were starting to be priests and people of Baal, of idol worship at this time within the nations of Israel. within the kingdom, within the promised land, they were already being led astray. And instead of, again, seeking forgiveness and seeking the Lord's help, their heart was hardened. They were continuing to grasp for straws. They wanted to do more. They thought, well, maybe we need to do more to ourselves. Maybe we need to continue in worshiping these idols or these other things, because we see the nations around, and even though the Lord had a hand in everything, they wanted to justify their own thoughts and feelings. They wanted to justify the wickedness that they were already in. So that's the first point. The second point in here, in verse 11, if a man walking in the Spirit and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of this people. So that's why these two tie in together, because the people already had been led astray. And so much so that instead of seeking the Lord's wisdom, they were continuing on and digging in their heels to do whatever they wanted to do. And that include false worship, that include starting to do things that were exactly the opposite of what the commandments were. Not even releasing people during the Jubilee, not even releasing people from their servitude. And so Micah's telling them that you're so wrong that someone can come in here and sound like they are very intelligent, sound and use words, but have them so twisted and have them incorrect that you would go along with it because they look and sound and fit the part. They're justifying yourself. They're justifying your needs and your wants and what you believe is correct. Whereas all good things come from above, and you are continuing to have disastrous things. You're continuing to harm one another. And then you're going about justifying it. Bringing past to present. Does any of this sound familiar? How easy it is when people are stuck and hardened in their ways, where they lose empathy, when they lose love for others, when they start going inwards and I have to really concentrate on myself and concentrate on me because the only one who cares about me is me. Sound familiar? When that happens, someone can come along who sounds the way you do. Yeah, we need to strengthen ourselves. We need to first only deal with ourselves. We need to make sure we have protection. We need to make sure that I have protection. I need to make sure that I have food. I need to make sure that I. And what we don't realize is that generates the selfishness and complicitness and the arrogance and the bolstering of pride. And then it starts to become an obsession. It starts to fester out in more ways. You used to want to hold the door for someone else and let them walk through before you, but now you got there first. You're going to walk through that door first, not the person who knows who that person is, and why would you care? Not understanding and realizing your even surroundings, how it could be a loved one. It could have been your mother, your father, your sister, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your own child. Before we go on, though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read of this? How does it make you feel and what does it make you think?